Well, ladies and gentlemen, mark the date, 6th of July 2025, the day that Arsenal got serious. Firstly, the purpose of this video, announcing the big money signing of Zubimendi from Real Sociedad. But not only that, news in the last hour that a deal for Victor Gyokeres is very close, personal terms agreed, advanced talks with Sporting Lisbon. Rumours that Rodrigo remains unhappy at Real Madrid after not starting at the Club World Cup yet again, and Arsenal remain in talks for him. And of course, potentially a deal close for Madueke, a deal close for Mosquera from Valencia. Arsenal making big moves in the last 24 hours and are really pushing to get their team together prior to the start of pre-season. You've got to say fair play to them. And you've got to respect the business that they're doing. The fact that they could potentially even be selling Ethan Nwaneri to Chelsea to help fund this, because obviously under the PSR rules, selling academy players for pure profit allows you to spend more money in the transfer market on new signings. So a ruthless outlay over the last 24 hours from Arsenal, and like I say, you've got to respect it. They're making their move. They want to be title challengers again next season, and if they can get certainly the other deals that we've spoken about done, they become serious contenders. But like I say, let's today talk about Martin Zubimendi, holding midfield player. What does this mean for Arsenal? Obviously, he is the direct replacement for Thomas Partey, key player in their defensive-minded side of things, because it helps free up Declan Rice. And that is what Arsenal want. They want Declan Rice to be able to be free, play that box-to-box role, get into the box, score goals, and also be creative, and not basically rely on him to be a massive defensive workhorse. As well as that, by putting in someone like Thomas Partey, like Zubimendi, it allows them to do that, and that's obviously why they've also signed Christian Norgard. I didn't do a reaction to him because 11 million for Christian Norgard isn't make a YouTube video worthy, in my opinion. I said that I would do the big transfers on this channel, and this, in my opinion, is a big transfer, especially when you consider the transfer fee. So what does Martin Zubimendi bring to Arsenal? It's what I've just said. Firstly, it allows Declan Rice to be more free and get more further forward. But they do bring in a player that has a lot of experience, both in European football and international football. He is a Euros winner with Spain, came into that Euro final when Rodri got injured, and I believe got man of the match in that final. So really experienced at that sort of level. He's a winner. He knows how to win trophies. Although, what I will say, as someone who is obviously a Manchester United fan and an England fan that has seen Zubimendi on a few occasions playing for Sociedad and playing for Spain, I'm yet to be fully convinced by him. Like, there was a lot of talk about Manchester United being linked with him a couple of years ago, and I wasn't too keen on signing him then. I certainly wasn't keen on paying the 60 million transfer fee, whether or not we were in Europe and this, that, and the other. I didn't want to go anywhere near him. I've not been overly convinced by him. He looks like a decent player, but he doesn't look like a world beater. Like, you think about the top Spanish holding midfielders like Busquets, like Xabi Alonso, like Rodri. It's sort of, they've got that power and physique. They can win challenges and also play incredible passes. I don't really see that yet from Zubimendi. He's a talent. He's still relatively young. But I'm not convinced he's the sort of player that can take Arsenal to that next level. It's more, like I said, I think he's going to be utilised as that sort of deep-lying player that is just going to be expected to do a job. And if that does allow Declan Rice to do phenomenal things and allow Odegaard to do phenomenal things, if they do get Gyokeres, they do get Rodrigo, etc. in those attacking areas, just having someone that can do that job is sometimes all you need. They don't have to be world-class holding midfielders. They need to be someone that is good at positioning and good at winning a tackle. They don't have to be N'Golo Kante. They don't have to be Rodri. They don't have to be these players that can hair about at a million miles an hour and get the ball back and then, be the best player on the pitch. And I think he can do that job. I say, I'm not fully convinced he's a world-class player, but I know he is a decent holding midfield player. And if you put him in and amongst other world-class players, you think he'll be literally sitting in that pocket with Rice and Odegaard in front of him and Saliba and Gabriel behind him. In my opinion, that is 4 world-class players you are surrounding Zubimendi with. And as long as he just does his job, it's a massive asset for Arsenal. Obviously, they still need more cover. It's why they're bringing in Norgard. I think that's a smart signing from them. A bizarre one, but a smart one. But I think it is good business all round. Again, I'm not overly convinced by the £60 million fee they are paying for him, but they are ambitious. They want to get players in to take them to the next level. And if he can do the sort of job that we know he could do, I think it is a very smart signing for Arsenal. And again, when players come in and perform, all of a sudden those price tags disappear. We don't talk about the 100 million they spent for Declan Rice anymore because of how good he is. If Zubimendi comes in, is a solid holding midfielder, we're not going to talk about the 60 million they paid for him if Arsenal end up winning any trophies this season. So that's my thoughts on Zubimendi. I think it's a smart signing. It's a good signing. But obviously the concern now is look at the business they could be doing over the next couple of weeks. And I could be potentially making videos about Arsenal every day this week if this Gyokeres deal gets done in the next 24 hours. I think we'll have to wait a little bit longer on Rodrigo because obviously Real Madrid are still in that Club World Cup. Are they going to sign Madueke? Are they going to sell Wanyeri? I think if either of those deals go through, it'll be worth making a video on. Probably won't make one on Mosquera, but I do think that would be a very smart signing for Arsenal as well. Very, very talented young defender. Saw him at the under-21 Euros. Thought he was decent for Spain and obviously provides that cover for Gabriel and Saliba. So Arsenal making big moves. Like I said, mark the date, 6th of July, 2025. Arsenal make their move at the Premier League title. Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. Is Zubimendi a good signing for Arsenal? And let me know your thoughts on the prospect of the signings they could be making over the course of the next couple of weeks. As always, thank you very much for watching. I'll see you very soon.